Today we are making this boho design. So let's begin. I have drawn this sketch. This is the sun that we have done. Now let's add some colors to the layers. This color I have to obtain after mixing a lot of shades. I have added a shade of red, skin color, the flesh tint, brown, and a little bit of white. So let's begin. We need to paint it a good thick coat of paint. Put the paint generously. Also, we're going to paint above the leaves right now, and after once we finish, we're going to do the black color on the leaves. We want the edges to be very neat, so just go with the flow. It's a good thick coat of paint. Maybe you can go with 2 layers of paint to get a good thick shade. This is the boho design we are creating. So you can see I'm using a broad brush. This is a beautiful color that I've got after mixing a lot of shades. This have a shade of flesh tint, red, brown, and a little bit of white. So I'm creating 2 patterns simultaneously. So this one is one of them. So I'm going to just keep it aside for it to dry up. Meanwhile, I'll work on the next pattern, which is going to be this. And this we're going to do this part of the sheet. So it's going to be only the top part. Again, we have to be very careful. First, we have to outline. Be little careful, especially on the corners, and try and make your hand go slide to get the perfect line. So just outline first and then fill in the color. I have not added too much of water, so try not to add any water into this. We need a good thick coat of paint. Also try and make your hand slide on it to get that perfect edges, because we are not going to use any black outline on this. So this is going to have just the paint. Here we are. We're going to do a couple of layers of the paint. We want a very good thick paint. The beauty about this color is that this is not a easy ready available paint shade. So I've used a lot of shades onto this. So I'm making today a boho design. So this is something which is very simple, can be made by anyone. The beauty about this artwork is its simplicity. It can give a complete makeover to your existing living space or your workstation. So I'm going to just give you a glimpse of how this is going to look like. So here it is. So we have made 3 windows out of it and some leaves. I'm going to paint them black in the end once I'm done with the complete 2 layers of paint on here. So we're going to come back to the first design again and give it a shade again. As I said, we really need a very good thick coat of paint. So this one is layer 1 done. Now let's move on to the layer 2. Careful, especially on the corners. We don't want the corners to be looking, a little anything cracked. So here is the second layer. So now you can see that after the second layer, the paint is a good thick coat of paint, exactly how we wanted it to be. So once it dries up, it will have a very neat look. I'm just going to give you a better view. So now let's get back to the sheet number 2 again. While this dries up, let's get back again to sheet number 2 and give it another layer. So you can see it's a thick coat of paint. I have used mixtures of paint like, red, flesh tint, brown to get this color. If you want a little lighter shade, you can add a little bit of water also. I think I'm going to store my extra paint because I think it's a beautiful color that I've come in. So we can create some beautiful flowers out of it. So here we are. Let both the work dry up a bit before we move on to the next layer. So I'm going to come back with this after this small short break, and then we can join this again and we can finish this painting. Thank you so much for watching.